Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome to Castle Podcast Article, Building Insight through Articles.
Yay.
Okay, now we are going to open our podcast today with a very great quotation from Warren Buffett that he said that apa ya? Lupa ini lupa.
Risk.
Oh ya, risk come from not knowing what you're doing. Risks come from not knowing what you're doing. Today, we have a special guest, which is Mr. Dedi, our great lecturer. Please, big applause for him. And then me, Rimana Bilah Nuzila, and my partner, Medina, will review some articles related to Islamic value. And Mr. Dedi, first
Yes.
of all, I'm going to review my journal first, and then Medina.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It means that this is your reading report.
Yeah, reading reports. Okay. This is my journal review. First of all, everyone, I would like to uh, describe or explain about the Sinta journal. What is Sinta? Okay, the definition of Sinta. Sinta journal is scientific article page that has been accredited with national standard recognized by Ministry of Education, Culture and Research or Kemendikbudristek. And Sinta is abbreviation of Science and Technology Index. And then you can see my uh, in the uh, here the slide. There are some criteria have to be fulfilled by the researcher according to peraturan nomor 9 tahun 2018 about the jurnal akreditasi ilmiah. Sintawan terakreditasi A nilai 85, Sinta 2, B, Sinta 3, and also 4, 5, and 6. And then my journal title is about how do international EFL textbook teach moral values to Indonesian primary school students by Salma Yonalia Hasna Jatmiko and Ngadiso.
From
First,
where?
is from
English Education Department.
ya 11 Maret University Surakarta. Yeah. And then here's the abstract. They have a good abstract and fill some criteria. The structure include the research topic, gap, aim, theoretical framework, methodology, findings, and implication. And they summarize it with a very good and very good paragraph. And then here are the abstract structure. The research topic contains moral values in English textbook in Indonesia, especially through saying used in textbook for elementary school students. And research gap, how speech act used to represent moral values in elementary school textbook in Indonesia. And the aim of the research, exploring representation of moral value through saying in international English textbook. This is focus on two classes, which is second class and sixth class. They have argumentation because second and sixth can be the representative of all the class in primary school. In elementary school. And then here the theoretical framework. The researcher uses the theory from Searles. 1969 about the speech act theory to analyze the data. And then the methodology, it's qualitative research. And about the key finding is about the dominant moral values represent in the textbook are responsibility and kindness. So uh, the dominant moral value consists of two, responsibility and kindness. Maybe in Islamic um, term, it's
Hmm?
different, sir.
Hmm.
In Islamic term, it will use the Arabic. And then now we can see the article structure from Pratomo 2021. The article structure, according to him, it should be feel Imrad, what he called IMRAD, introduction, method, result, and discussion. But it is depend on uh, the journals, the template. But this is a common rules of Sinta too. So this is the note. Not all the journal use IMRAD. There are some journal also insist literature review. In the introduction, the researcher also have some element, and that's really complete one. Uh, the first one is reason for conducting the research, and then summary of relevant literature, different from published research, and the objective. In Sintatu, I see many complex and detail about the research and the objective. It quite bit so complex and detail. And then here's the method. There are research design, data source and data collection, and data analysis. Maybe it is has the same criteria with Sinta 3, Sinta 4, and so on. But we will differentiate between those Sinta in the end of the our podcast. And then this the finding. I saw the finding really clear. The researcher have a very detailed data. He they write some moral value here. It's about 17. Yeah, we can see number one, conscience, self-control, kindness, fairness, honesty, hardworking, creativity, independent. Maybe it a little bit different with Islamic value. We can compare it with what my partner will explain later. And this is the data added by percentage or not percentage with the number of uh, engagement of moral value from the book, from the textbook, right here you can see. And then now we move to the finding that 17 the finding show 17 morals. And then the most frequently deficit values are responsibility is about 15 and 28%, and kindness 12 and 5%, followed by other like respect, environmental sensitivity, and honesty. So responsibility, kindness, and honesty as dominant values. And then I found in reference, there are 37 reference in the journal. The most current reference is about 2023, and the earliest one is 1878. So, sir,
Mm.
if we see the earliest reference,
Mm.
do you think it's okay? Because it's not field novelty, right?
Yeah, this is the time that is it 1978?
Yeah.
Yeah. If the books is grand theory, like what you do, what you read in Said or other books that is like Plato, Socrates, I think that's okay because this is the green theory.
See.
It cannot be replaced.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Mm.
Understand. Okay, that's enough from me. We will discuss about our theme maybe in the end, or you want to share your experience, sir, about your
Yeah.
writing
If I'm
journal.
not mistaken, Medina has written the article, probably this year, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, but women, but moral values, if I'm not mistaken. So it has the relation between your reading report, Rima, and what Medina wrote in proceeding.
Yes.
In proceeding. So yeah, I think Rim, if someone wants to write the moral values and then they find responsibility, kindness, and honesty as the most dominant values, I think we can imitate that the research like this can be published in Sinta too. Right? So we can rate like what you read here, friendliness, religiosity, peace loving. So there are many values, and then they conducted research and they found that there are three kinds of moral values in the books. That is the finding. So that is one of our goal. You read the articles and then you can imitate.
Yeah.
So that this research could be published in Simba.
At the beginning, I thought that Sintatu is always be about a very hard and material and topic. So even the simplest one, we can do the research, right, sir?
Yeah, probably simplest. There are 17 values. I think this is detailed, right? Detail with 17 values and then making percentage, how many percent for responsibility, social awareness. I think that is the challenges for us as the writers.
Yeah, to identify it.
Yeah, to identify the moral values. And it has connection with your paper, Medina. What is your paper about?
My paper is about the integration of science, technology, and Islamic values to enhance expected learning outcomes in French higher education. Sir.
Yeah, who wrote the article, man?
Uh, Mrs. Alice Ratnawulan, Mr. Heri Gunawan, Ms. Wafi Fauzia, and Mr. Frederick Karts from France.
Okay.
But the three other is from UIN Sudan Bandung.
Yeah. They are my friends Samuel is and Bakari and Dua Fauzia, the same. Okay, Matt, would you like to elaborate the reading report of yours? What is it about? Matt?
Okay. Sorry. Here's the content. The first one is about the introduction, and then research scope, and then the explanation about expected learning outcomes, and then the methodology, the result discussion, and the conclusion. Yeah.
And you use the other platform, man?
Yes.
Slides Pilot.
Yes.
Do you like this platform, man?
Not really. Actually, I used to make my own presentation PowerPoint, but because I have limited time, so
Oh, I see. Okay. This is new for me. Slides Pilot.
yeah.
Go on, man.
Okay, thank you. So the first is for the introduction, uh, integration of Islamic values into science and technology education in French higher education. And this will talk about importance of meaningful learning by integrating real life concepts and experiences uh, as Muslim. And the form, the abstract, it highlights several points. The first one is about the learning strategies and then the impact on learning outcomes. then the target population, methodology, cost efficiency, and the educational goals. Maybe for the some summary, for the abstract, it talk about the learning strategies. The paper emphasizes that integrating learning is Islamic values into learning strategies can significantly enhance educational outcomes. This approach aims to make learning more meaningful for students by connecting it with their religious beliefs and values. And I think what makes this research unique, sir and Karima, it's about the place it takes. I mean, it is taken the place in France, and
France.
we know France is in Europe, and it's a Western country, and it is stated as a what is it secular country that strictly divided between knowledge or science and religions. And I have also read here that in France, they put more uh, much attention to the education, and they what is it make 20% of the budget of the country for the education, and it's really big. But maybe something that is still need what is it improving. I mean, because it's really divided or separate the science or knowledge with the religions. Uh, the what is it? The citizens cannot integrate the religious values into their education uh, in public schools. And 90% of the school or the private school is a Catholic school. So the Muslims in France uh, have limited what is it access to the Islamic values to their education. But this education is conducted there, and I think it's really interesting. And it is shown that it is success and has a good outcomes. Okay. And then, yes, the impact on learning outcomes about the study investigates how the incorporation of Islamic values affects the expected learning outcomes. So the friends adopted the expected learning outcomes. So it's not about uh, what should people or students learn about at school, but what students have to acquire or get after they complete their school. So the teacher or the school have to what is it make a list. What should people or students get after they complete the school? The skills or the values and etc. And then the target population, the research focuses on the second year students and lecturers at the institute in France, the Institut National des Sciences Appliquées, INSA in Vaux, France. The specific group was chosen due to their potential and self-improvement and their existing skills in reasoning, enthusiasm, and cooperation. Okay. And for the research scope, and then okay, uh, this is the explanation about expected learning outcomes. So the expected learning outcomes, the researchers conduct this. The first one is ELO one. The first is explain education and its various terms, and then ELO two about understand the basis and scope of Islamic education, and then ELO three about state and objectives of Islamic education. ELO four implement Islamic education method, and yellow 5 describe Islamic educational material, and yellow 6 about evaluate Islamic education. So six teachers, Muslim teachers in France, are divided to uh, what is it to deliver each of these ELA to their classroom. So one teacher take one ELO. Okay, then there's about the methodology. The methodology the data collected from integrated science and technology courses with Islamic values test and processed using the revised one's assignment method to determine optimal assignment and minimum education cost. And the minimum education cost, it is shown that it is needed for about 38 euros to conduct this research. And then, okay, here's the results. Integration of Islamic values in learning significantly enhanced students' ELO. Optimal assignment of lecturers to ELOs achieved with a minimum total cost of 38 euros for 6 lecturers. Or before we talk about ELO, we also have to know about OBA. What is OBA? You know, sir? Outcome-based education. Ah, yes. What is outcome-based education? Outcome-based education is an educational theory that emphasizes the goals of education on every part of the education system. And there are many terms used to refer to this theory. Outcome, objectives, and the goals are the terms that have one thing in common in education. And actually, outcome-based education is not only implemented in France, but I have noted that there are several countries such as Australia and South Africa adopted OBA policies in the early 1990s, but they have been eliminated from the educational system. And then United States has implemented OBA programs since 1994, and another such as Hong Kong, Malaysia, the European Union, Japan, Ireland, Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, and many more has implemented the OBA. It means that OBA has attracted countries all over the world, and its implementation has been widely acknowledged internationally, and its success has been reported in many countries. So when we implement outcome-based education, it's it it is proven as a good method. Okay, next for the discussion of Islamic values, enrich science and technology learning, make it meaningful and applicable to real life. So it's not only learn science and technology as knowledge or as knowledge only, but also make it applicable and meaningful. So students, especially Muslims, can make it uh, can realize that it has what is it a correlation with their religion, because we know that science cannot be separated with religion, because in Islam, such as in Quran, Hadith, we are also what is it uh, supported or ordered to learn the science and technology as well, and it is have correlation with our religion. For example, maybe sir, if we want to know first the first day of Ramadan, we have to know the science, like yeah. Yeah, in our vision, Medina, we have Wahyu Memandu Ilmu. Okay, yes. Yeah, Wahyu Memandu Ilmu is our vision that Wahyu is from Allah and Ilmu is insight. So that's why in Islam, in our religion, there is no dichotomy that science and technology is part of Islam. Yes. So that's make very interesting, because we learn in Islamic environment, and we can learn and we can realize it. But maybe in Western country, where they has limited access, so it is need an improvement, or it has to it needs increasing in integrating Islamic values into the education. And then for the conclusion, integration of Islamic values into science and technology education significantly improves learning outcomes in French higher education with minimal cost. Offers a model for integrating religious values into secular education system. So it's different for Muslim majority countries when they integrate Islamic values. Maybe it's also the research has already what is it? Many research conducted for in Muslim majority countries such as maybe Indonesia, and then maybe in Middle East or Malaysia or Australia, as well, even though they are not Muslim majority, but they open to or is it many kind of religions. So, but in France, it's really interesting, I think. And okay, okay, maybe this is just the additional for the exploring the core search of Islamic values. The first is the Quran,
and then the Hadith, and then Islamic scholar contribution, and the community and family influence. Okay, thank you very much. And what do you think, Sir and Rima?
Yeah, this is interesting because Rima and Medina has the similar topic. This is values, and in the last paper, Medina, this is the collaboration between UIN. There are three persons from UIN and one from France, and they conduct the research in France, Islamic values. Yeah, probably there are similarities and differences, of course, between moral values and Islamic values. Do you want to say something, Rim? Moral values in West culture and Islamic values?
I think
Mhm.
moral and Islamic, it is from the term, maybe from the language, but
From
the
the language.
content is almost the same,
Almost the
maybe
same.
like that. But Medina
Mhm.
didn't detail the Islamic, what kind of Islamic value. I wondering, because you just share about the source like the Quran, Islamic scholar. So can you share about what the research finding about what kind of value?
Oh, okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I will read again
Yeah.
the detail. Okay, for this, there are examples for the Quran. The Quran is the holy book of Islam, serving as the primary source of guidance. It emphasizes values
So I
such as
mean, the Medina,
justice, compassion, and honesty.
it's the form of subject like Al Quran Hadith in the Indonesian or what? Or
Probably, when you discussed about 17 moral values, Medina is expected learning outcomes alone. Like we have six Medina. The first is explain education and its various terms, until the sixth one is evaluate Islamic education. So the researchers in Medina's paper discussion, they concerns about expected learning outcome, whether in Rima's paper discussion, yeah, 17 moral values. I think that is the similarity. Medina, do you want to say something about moral values and Islamic values?
Okay, maybe I have read several research or
Mhm.
articles about what is it the first the difference between moral and Islamic values. Maybe for moral, we have heard before from Mr. Dedi that moral is like Islamic values but in the West. So maybe from the search of moral value is different with Islamic values. While Islamic values is from Allah, that is there are rules from Quran and Hadith, but moral values uh, comes from different source. It's from the norm, from the West, and they create it for their what is it, community. But in Islam, we know that Islam has three several what is it? Okay, points. The first is hablum minallah, or the relationship with God, and it covers the worship and faith, and then relationship with others, or hablum minannas. It covers the interaction with others, and then the education system, and then the maybe what is it, trade, jual beli, gitu, and etc. And then for hablum minan nafs, or hablum minan nafs is the relationship of with oneself. It means moral value or attitude or akhlak, and it it means that in Islam we cover almost everything, including the moral value. But the search is different. But the goodness is we same that it has an objective to make our life better and good.
Okay, we can learn from Rima, this is Sinta too, and from Medina, this is Scopus.
Oh yes.
And you can learn Rima and Medina when you will graduate from this postgraduate. I think you can learn how to write the article. This is the example of Sintatsu, and this is the example of Scopus. Every detail of the research is like what you read in your paper. Yeah, I think that's all.
okay. Thank you, sir,
Yeah, you're
for
welcome.
accompanying us, and
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
with thank you very much. Okay, we will close our podcast today. Thank you for your attention. Finally, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Wait,
warahmatullahi
can I say
wabarakatuh.
something?
Yes, please.
Today,
Hmm.
actually, I want to say something to my mother.
Ah,
It's my it's her birthday,
oh,
and I want
birthday.
to say thank you for my mother. I love you so much. Thank you for taking
Yay.
care of me.
Okay, the 5th October, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Okay,
And
thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.